Boom, baby, boom. Rise and shine. It's a beautiful day today. Not bad for it raining yesterday. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. I'm your host with the mostest, Marky Saint. And every morning I get up and I'm blessed to be alive. And this morning, don't hang over. Don't hang over. Because those hangovers be taking over, and all of a sudden you be missing them workouts, which I got this morning, Flex at Men's workout tanks, and the day before that, and the day before that, because I'm not hungover. And I had the conversation with my friends. They were like, "Oh, dude, we had such a good time. I was up till 7:30 in the morning," and I was like, "Not me, not it. We're gonna have some blessings this morning. Exercise the demons. That's right. Not be hungover from something in the past that's affecting your today, and that's this morning's marijuana motivation. Let's get into it, shall we? Saints addiction. So, the sun is shining nice and hard right now. I should probably go into the pool and chill the fuck out, but I'm gonna need my morning workout on. Been working on that shine. You can see that shine, baby. That's what I'm not hungover from. I'm not hungover from an experience of yesterday. I'm not trying to recover from bad decisions. And I'm not hung up on the past, is what I was thinking about this morning. You know, sometimes when my eyes are closed, and they'll be closed for a little bit, I'll go into zones that aren't exactly productive. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm thinking about an ex, or relationships that have gone bad, or just anti-success thoughts. Bless up, join weed club. And I thought, how much time was spent hungover? You know, not only the recovery and the hours of the next day, but hanging over bad decisions that have been made. You know, my hair looking crazy. That's what we do. We're still hung up on something that we have already done. We haven't been able to lift ourselves off that hook and place ourselves somewhere else that is more effective. And I mean, the term hungover, you know, the hangover 1, 2, and 3, you know, means different things to everybody. But what I don't want to be doing is losing my future time or my current time on something that has already happened and it's past my prime. How many of us spend almost double, triple the time hungover? Let's say you got 4, 6 hours, maybe even 8 hours of fun the night before. It's going to take you almost double, triple that amount of time to undo what you already did to your system, your brain, the chemicals in your brain, and the decisions that were made. Think how many times you've been hungover and you had to spend the next day apologizing to everybody because you done fucked up, embarrassed yourself, or got aggressive. Just think about that. Thanks for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Think about your energy level. I was talking about it yesterday, but we only got so much energy bar, like a Street Fighter game or something like that, where that's all the energy you got for the day. I was explaining it to Miles, but they actually track this with astronauts up above, that they would have to only that 10 to 2, you know, your 10 and 2 when you're steering, that your 10 and 2 is your optimal prime time. That's your 4 hours to get everything fucking done. It takes me a couple hours to wake up, work out, and actually, you know, come back to life, right? Because you go to bed, you go to death, and then you come back to life every morning, right? How long does it take you to come back to life? That's a big question. A lot of us, it's taken us a long time. We'll maybe still play on the phone. That takes a couple hours. Shit, shower, and shave takes a couple hours. It takes a while for us to come alive and back into time, back into our bodies and in our minds. And to get our soul right, you would be amiss to say somebody was drilling holes in your canoe. Last night you decided to drink. Well, this morning you're not going to work out. And last night you decided to call your ex. Well, this morning you're feeling embarrassed. And last night you had a rager, but you took up all the day. And my friend didn't wake up till 4 p.m. You know what I mean? She's up till 7, didn't wake up till 4. That's a whole work shift, bro. And not that you're going to be optimist and be a robot and all the time. But she lost her 10 and 2, so she didn't have anything to do. There was nothing getting done, so therefore she partied for 2 days. It's a math equation. My friend said, "Why'd you quit drinking, Mark?" And I said, "Dude, because of time." That's the honest truth of it. Your time is skewed. You only get 10 and 2, and then if you start throwing off the chemical balances in your body and your brain and in your soul, now you have all this time for recovery. That's why we call it rehab. When you're going through it and you're becoming sober, you're recovering from all the damage that you did from before. So it's not that life did anything to you. It's that you made a life decision. And in that decision, you have to undo this hangover. You have to don't hang over what's happened from the past. They say only a fool trips over something that's happened to them. Only a fool trips over something that's behind them, right? And this is what a hangover is. It's a trip that you've already fallen from, and now you got to get back up and do it again. It's a tough sport, bro. Can you imagine spending so much time on undoing what you did? Then that means you're not spending time on doing something that you could be doing. And this is a big difference. It's a big difference between me getting up in the sunrise and the sunshine this morning, getting it on my skin, getting that vitamin D in, you know what I mean? Getting the melatonin to turn into serotonin. I'm up early. It's 10:10. I'm not hungover. I did all my workouts. Yep, flex, men's workout tanks, baby. And I feel great. I don't feel like I missed out on anything. Yeah, my friends partied till 7 a.m. Yeah, they did a mushroom trip, and yeah, I missed the party, but I also got up early. I'm still doing my workouts, and I feel great inside. I don't have anything that I have to hide. I don't have anything hanging over me. I don't feel like I have to undo anything. I'm in a new day, and I've arrived at this new day. It's like you're allowed to wake up, right? It's not promised, but you wake up. We count on it like it's going to always happen. Yeah, I'm just going to wake up, and everything's just going to be fine. No, you got to arrive. It's almost like the Hades, giving your coins that were on your eyes when they buried you to cross the river Styx, right? If you don't want to keep going into the sticks, if you don't want to keep going into the weeds, if you don't want to keep feeling like shit when you wake up in the morning, do something in the future, in the now, like the last night, that was the past, right? That I can thank myself for in the future. This is called future dopamine. It's not future faking. It's your future dopamine, like leaving yourself a $10 bill in your pocket and thinking that you want some money. That's future dopamine. You can actually give yourself an uptake in your brain and that you can thank yourself for. Me doing my workouts, giving me endorphins that my body is starting to respond, and I'm like grateful as fuck. I'm like, yeah, dude, my head's all there. I'm thinking clearly. I'm making good business decisions. I'm not repeating past behaviors. I'm not sabotaging myself, and I'm definitely not hurting myself. I'm helping myself as I touch this beautiful heart that keeps beating and letting me wake up every morning to my lifestyle, to be up in the jungles of Vietnam, to have a cool little spot that's safe and clean and beautiful and on the cheap, and then to eat whatever I fucking want. My friend was like, "That's nothing." I showed him a menu from Vietnam, and he's like, "That's nothing. It's literally nothing." And he put nothing in quotes, into quotes. He plays in euros, so it's about $2 to get one of those meals. My bacon and eggs and a baguette. It's only $2 for him. It's like $1.50. You could spend that on a candy. Puerto Nubuela. What's up, brother? Thank you for saying hi. Thank you for the thumbs up too. Ooh, 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 ooh. That was burning me. This is live. And this is your life. It's alive, and it's an organism. So similar to a baby needing the right nutrition and needing to be in a good place. You want to be able to place yourself on the chessboard of life in positions that are winning positions. You can't possibly say, "Oh, I don't have enough money," when you didn't do the work to earn the money. You can't possibly say, "Oh, I want to be healthy, I want to be fit, I want to be sexy," when you didn't do anything to get to apply the necessary requirements of not hurting your body. Alcohol's a killer for the brain and the skin. So is smoking. I've got back into the bad habit of putting my own nicotine in my fixes in the morning, and the eating. The diet of the mind is the diet of the body, and it's also the diet of your soul. If you're eating all those fried foods and you're trying to swallow hamburgers after you've been hungover, guess what? You've hurt yourself twice, not only with alcohol, but with food. So it's kind of like a seesaw, you know? You're placing bricks on each side. Either you're helping yourself out or you're weighing yourself out. And it's going to be a lot to lift to get back into recovery and to get over a hangover, and not only just in time, but in energy. And this is that energy bar that I keep talking about. We only have so much energy. And if you don't capitalize on your energy, thank you, bro. That's what I do on my channel. It's real talk. Then you're going to miss a big opportunity to change your life in any direction that you want it to. While you're in full capacity, you know, your faculties are there, you're going to make better decisions. When you're in a position of like working out, you're going to eat better food. And if you're in a position to grow your life, you know, like you have goals, then guess what? The goals are going to get done by stacking those bricks on the other side of the seesaw instead of stacking them against yourself. And then now you have more work to do. So it goes down to this old adage. There's a grasshopper and these ants, right? I think it's an Aesop's fable. But the ants do this, you know, they're always up there lifting and shit. They're working during the summer in this hot ass heat, but they're stacking their food. Now, when the winter comes and the grasshopper is done fucking around, he's going up there freezing his balls off, hungry as shit, going like, yo, let me in. And they're like, but you didn't help us work during the summer. You didn't sweat to earn these calories or these rice or these beans or whatever else that ants hold for food. You didn't stack. Instead, you watched and you laughed. And guess what? We are laughing at you now in the winter of your hangover, feeling like you made bad decisions, and now you're really screwed. You're just like, oh man, I did horrible. I should have, woulda, shoulda, coulda. I have regret. The only solution for regret is action. You have to take action, bold action, to place those rocks. Like, I'm going to be a person that's about my fitness. I'm going to be a person that's about my diet. I'm going to be a person about my health. And this is where you make the wealth, your real decisions into your life. Is that's the person that's going to get the opportunities. That's the person that's going to get the raise. And that's the person that someone's going to go and bring an opportunity to. Not the person that's still hung over and missed the phone call. Or when they answered the phone, they were just like, oh, hello, Monday, you know. It's a beautiful Sunday, and I'm out here going like, hell yeah, this is time to do some laps, continue my workout, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go down there, and after I'm nice and high, go swim in the nice ocean, into the nice pool water that's nice and clean. I'm gonna go chill underneath these palm trees, and I'm gonna align my soul so that way the next opportunity that calls me, I'm in a good position to talk to them. I'm not calling them from a frustration or a busy or a necessity. Instead, I'm gonna be in prime position to capitalize on that opportunity. I'm gonna be with it in my brain. My wherewithal is still there, so therefore I have the opportunity to live. Now, did I miss the time to live with my friends? Yeah, I missed the time to mushroom trip, and I missed the chance to take my acid or hang out all night. But at the same time, I'm up and about, recovering in the sunshine, enjoying my health and my body and my mind. I'm not in my mind tortured by the thoughts that have happened or the regrets that I've made or bad decisions that have been laid out. I'm as culpable as anything. So if I'm going to be culpable to anything and responsible to anything and accountable to anything, it's to myself. Right? Master and commander of the ship. If I really wanted it, if I really want something, you know, it's up to me. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. And if you really wanted it, you would do the things that would help you to get to the things that you really want. It wouldn't be an excuse. It wouldn't be some kind of reason why it didn't happen. Instead, you're going to say, I did this because it was in favor of me instead of in spite of me, right? So in spite of myself making decisions that will hurt my wealth, you know, especially when you're out partying, you know, that's when you're going to be spending all the money on the drinks, and it's too expensive and all those things, you know, and then you'll look at your wallet and you'll be like, fuck, what did I do? I know me, when I was on cocaine, I would literally look at my situations and I would just be like, fuck, dude, I drank all the alcohol, right? I snorted all the cocaine, I smoked all my weed, and I definitely hurt my wallet. When I wake up in the morning, now all of a sudden it's like, who spent all my money? You know, this is the classic, what's his name? What's the guy's name? I'm thinking of Homer Simpson, where he literally said, who smoked all my weed? You know, or the Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other and they're both like, you did it, you did it, you did it. You did it. You have the responsibility and opportunity to make your life into your own reality. And what did you do? You spent more time drilling holes in your canoe, making your financial wealth even worse. And then now you're in the morning of the hangover and going like, what did I do? You know, what did I say? How did I act? Why is my shit all whack? I don't know what the fuck happened. I got to get back on track. Yeah, you do. You need to get back on track. You need to get yourself back on the good foot, as we used to call it back in the days. Be back on the good foot, and that way you have the opportunity to make your life a reality. Your dreams that you've been saying are the biggest thing to you. Well, let's act like they're the biggest thing to you. Let's give it some fucking wherewithal and decisions and motivation. Mhm. To back our words, not just be in our heads and be like, oh yeah, I got this lip service, let me make a motivational post and hopefully somebody believes me. No, hell no, dude. You need to be actually putting belief behind the words that you say and actually doing some action to it to say that that's actually what you really, really want. How do you know? Because you put some action towards it. How do you think yourself? Because you put some action towards it. How do you future fake yourself and get into the position of accomplishments and positivity coming your way? You might have to do something today. You might actually have to go into your brain and say, hey, I want to fucking be the man that I say I want to be, instead of acting it with just my lips and pretending it and posting it. You get to actually do it. And I got all this music. I don't want them to block my YouTube, because they will. They'll be like, the music was promoting my hard work. Yeah, right, bro. I decide to go live every morning. I'm the one that's always in a motivational state and pushing myself for this lifestyle. My friend said it's nothing. It was a lot of work. It was a shit ton of work for me to go and say, okay, hey, I'm not going to go hang out with my friends to 7 a.m. for a birthday when I thought it was raining. Or, hey, I want to let the fat around my system stay fat and stay around my heart, because that would be a decision, right? You're like making a pimp decision, and that's what life's about. Way to make a pimp decision. Like Cat Williams would say to his son, hey, I could get you all this game. I could get you the new Xbox, but it only comes with one controller and one game. Or you can get this Nintendo 960 that's been already pre-approved from all the kids of how cool it is, and then you can have as many games as you want with two controllers so your dad can play with you. And he's like, I'll get the Nintendo 960, Dad. He said, way to make a pimp decision, son. And that's what a pimp decision is. It's something that is calculated, full concentration, and it gets done. I've been watching a lot of Breaking Bad episodes. It's in my feed. It comes across in like little 1 minute clips and reels that I've been watching. But these guys are literally playing mental chess on a higher level that you've never even seen, right? Like they're working with $300 million. Or when I watch Axe Capital and the Billions show, and he's calculating what a tsunami would do, or what are the components of a certain product, or the analytics on every stock that's out there. They're reading deeper into these businesses and who's the leader, what's the weather, and what's going on. That's a lot to process, right? These are really smart people, and that's why they're getting paid, because they're smarter than the rest of us. So if it's a competition for what's smart and what's not, right, then you're going to have to be the type of person that looks at the situation with analytics, with a clear mind, and the ability to digest all of that information. I'm here to tell you that it would have never happened if I wasn't concentrated. I would have never been in the position to be in Southeast Asia every winter, so that way it's my summer, and then I could enjoy the weather with my shirt off and go get cheap meals and almost order two different things every time. Let me get a shake, let me get some eggs, let me get my bacon, and let me get my smoothie. Those things are right there in front of me with a baguette. I'm sorry, I forgot to say what I'm getting. And this is the thing. This is the thing. This is the hangover that most of us don't want to be a part of. We don't want to do the exercise. We don't want to do the high knees. We don't want to be the type of person that actually stops what our mood is telling us and start telling our body what to do. Now, a strong mind would be able to capitalize and say, okay, yeah, you know what? You're not just going to think about those push-ups, right? You're not just going to think about those high knees. You're going to go in there and do the damn thing, right? So this is me having the energy, even though I just smoked weed, to be able to stay motivated, right? And be able to get all the workout in early in the morning. So when I go throughout the day, my body is sending me positive signals. It's giving me the endorphins that I need to keep smiling and be friendly with people. It keeps my mood high, instead of low. And that's what you get when you're on the hangover, right? Start getting in this low vibration shit, and then you end up getting shit that you didn't even want. And that's what you're giving yourself. If you're giving yourself shit input, guess what you're outputting? A whole bunch of shit. So yeah, I get into it. I get into my knees, I get into my shoulders, I get into my mind, and I tell myself the things that I need to do to keep myself moving forward, instead of going back to the old school dude that would just be like, I need drugs, I need alcohol, I need a party to keep my body high, or my mind and my spirits high. No, that's a lie. That's the lonely part of me saying, okay, I need those things. When in reality, I needed some sleep, I had to fight off a little bit of a cold, right? And I needed to keep staying on my workouts. Just thinking every morning, doing full sets of failure of push-ups, sit-ups, and squats. I do 3 sets of that, and that's what I've been doing. Just every day, just to kind of get my heart rate going. Nothing too serious. I'm not going to the gym and lifting heavy weights or trying to make my quads bigger or my physique different. It's just watching my diet, watching my mind, and pay attention to my body. And I give it some time that I would have been spending in the bed for hangovers and recovery is now on me, in my heart, on my knees, and I've done something about it. I already did all my push-ups, I already did all my sit-ups, and I already did all my squats. So now my body gets to look like this instead of being in the bed playing on the phone, overweight, and trying to get my brain to wake up. That's what hangovers are. It's disgusting, but it's true. And we do this stuff to ourselves, and we got no one else to blame but ourselves. We got no one else that's in control of ourselves but ourselves, right? And if we're master and commander of the ship, who's fucking driving this bitch? Like who's at the helm? Is it you, or is it somebody that you pretended to be? Is it you, or is it your bad decisions? Who's doing this? And we all try to hide it. We try to hide our C-sections, or that we have children, or that we didn't get married. These are things that we can blow through, but those decisions eventually get to show that you're in a fatherless, you're a single mother that kicked out your father, and now your kid's getting raised badly. Our decisions get told right in front of us. Or you're a gambler, and how hard you work, you keep having to do shit jobs and saying yes to things that you didn't mean to, only to make out the bad decision that you made for gambling. We're gambling on our future. We're gambling on our lives, and I think they just killed that music so we can go down to the water and enjoy this time. Did 10 push-ups. Yes, bro. It gets you to do more. It really does. It's like something about it. I don't know. It's like I heard it from Jay Waller once, but he was saying that he, there's my towel, that he would play on his phone. He's like, I could play on my phone at the gym. If I'm going to play on my phone and then I watch people go around me, they start doing weights and sets, and I'm like, I want in on that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to just hit it a little bit. And then that little bit turns into a lot. And then next thing you know, you're making good decisions in your life that your body can thank you for, your mind can thank you for, and your soul can thank you for. And this is what it's all about, mind, body, and soul, to be able to say, hey, I'm in control of my mind, Hey, I'm in control of my body, and I'm in control of my soul. I haven't abandoned my soul to a bunch of nights to alcohol that gave me a quick buzz to be friendly with some people that weren't even really my friends. Yeah. You're done? You're good? Yeah, okay. Yeah, bro. That's just my Russian neighbors, But yeah, I get to come straight up to the pool. I get to enjoy this cool breeze. You know what I mean? I get to enjoy this awesome life right here, because I built it that way. I said, hey, maybe you don't get to go out to a bunch of parties and do a bunch of drugs and try to match energies with people that really aren't that friendly or really aren't that happy. And we all know those people. We like to pretend that they're having the best time ever, but you got to contact them in the morning and see that they have some deficiencies going on, and it fucking sucks. So this is what we have to do. They're making the food. The music kicked off, so now I can come down here. But yeah, we're gonna do what we have to do. Is that a dragonfly stuck there? Oh no. Yep. Let me get in this water, yo. I'm gonna get in the sunshine and smoke my weed with you, with my dreams, and say this is what makes me feel good. You know, being able to just wake up, go outside, go to my morning pool, go for a couple swims, stretch out. There's some dragonfly right there. Stretch out the demons. You know, exercise the demons. It was raining last night, so now I got to put my feet in the water and enjoy the way it feels while I'm high and free and no boss to tell me what to do. And I know I can afford my room and I already got rent for next month. And bro, you already know. Oh, yes, blessed. It's such a blessing to be alive and to be able to change my own temperature and change my own mind and do the things that I want to do instead of the things I have to do, you know? And that was all from stacking the bricks to the right side. The side that helps me instead of neglects me. And I know you know what I'm talking about because that's real life. There's another dragonfly. I think when they drink the water, they die, but that's what it's like. Take the red pill, take the blue pill, you know, up to you. But also, the responsibility will be on you. Because I concentrated on work instead of play in my optimal 10 and 2, now I get to play all day on my Sunday and just enjoy my weed in the pool and take a couple laps. Keep it cool. Keep it light. Do I get FOMO? Hell yeah. What's better than a good mushroom trip with a bunch of friends laughing your ass off? It's worth it. But I've had a lot of times like that. And I want this kind of time back. You know, the time that I get to be by myself in my mind when I'm doing laps or exercising the demons or moving my knees so they don't hurt as much. Get my hips back in place after sleeping on them and get my sun, or get some sun on my skin so that way I get that free serotonin. I don't know if it's true or not, but I believe it. The girl said melatonin turns into serotonin when the sun hits your skin. And now I feel alive. You know, they got their, I can feel my abs. I've been doing my push-ups. My shoulders are aching. And now it's time for your boy Saint to do some laps, even with the Indian music in the back. Thank God I got turned off. They're going to flag my shit. But I appreciate the likes. But more importantly, I appreciate this life. And I just share it with people because I don't want people to be in a cubicle, not swimming, not doing what they dreamed of. I want their dreams to come alive inside them. Look at this dragonfly. He's hanging out with me, a red one. How cool is that? There's a better watering hole, bro. There are better watering holes. You should see your buddy dead over there. But it's a life that I dreamed of, you know, to go back to the island. I go in about 30 days back to my island, and I'm already jealous of my friends there, and everybody's starting to show up. And it's all about a vibe, and I estimate to be like 100 of us that come back to the island every winter like snowbirds and enjoy a beautiful island. What a blessing. Yep. And that's what I am. I'm blessing, not stressing. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about. Being able to change your temperature. Whew. Yeah. Get into the pool. You know what I'm saying? Exercise the demons. Let that frustration out on your workouts, not on your body. You know, and let that regret leave your soul and make yourself feel relief and heal yourself with the foods, heal yourself with the music, heal yourself with the people and the scenery. It's all the environment. It's all part of the plan. Being able to be underneath these beautiful trees and actually see trees, because where I come from in Nevada, there are no trees, and be able to say, this is my life. This is me doing what I please. This is what I chose to do. This is my dream, and it's my dream realized. So while I go live, I will be doing live. I'll be going live here every morning motivation, talking about life and making better decisions and sobriety and dreams and goals and doing all these things so that way I can get up in the morning and go for a swim. I can exercise my body and my demons. I can live the life that I dreamed of, and so can you, so can you, but you got to do what it takes to get it done. And most of us are fucking drilling holes in our canoe. So as this morning motivation, thanks for listening. You already know, peace and love. And as always, Chigaton. That means goodbye, but not forever in Finnish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. The other side of your fear, the other side of your excuses, and the other side of the world, because that's where I'll be. Peace. Yeah, peace. Thanks for coming by, Peletaro Nubuela. I appreciate you, bro.